Have you ever noticed strawberries growing upward instead of spreading across the ground and wondered whether it was just a social media illusion? Many gardeners assume strawberries can only sprawl horizontally, sending runners everywhere and gradually filling entire beds. But the reality is different. Strawberries can absolutely be trained to grow vertically, often producing more fruit in less space while staying cleaner and healthier than traditional ground-grown plants. Vertical strawberries are not a trend or trick. They work because they align with how strawberries naturally grow. By understanding how runners function and guiding them upward, you can create plants with improved airflow, fewer disease problems, cleaner berries, and extended harvest periods. With the right system in place, strawberries can transform balconies, patios, backyards, and containers into productive vertical gardens. Once you experience growing them this way, it's hard to return to the traditional method. 1. What climbing strawberries actually means strawberries are not true climbing plants like grapes, beans, or cucumbers. They do not wrap around supports or attach themselves to structures. Instead, they rely on runners, long, flexible stems that extend outward from the parent plant in search of new rooting points. In natural conditions, this strategy allows strawberries to spread quickly and dominate available space. Each runner forms small nodes along its length, and each node can develop into a completely new plant. Left uncontrolled, these runners spread across the ground, forming dense patches. Vertical growing does not change this behavior, it redirects it. By adding a trellis, frame, tower, or other vertical support, you give the runners an alternative direction to grow. Instead of moving across the soil, they can move upward. The plant isn't aware of climbing, it is simply continuing its natural expansion pattern. This is why vertical systems work. They cooperate with the plant's biology instead of opposing it. Understanding this concept is essential. Many growers struggle with vertical strawberries because they try to force the plant into behaving like a vine. The goal is not to make strawberries climb in the traditional sense, but to guide their spreading habit into vertical space. Once this mindset is clear, success becomes much more achievable. 2. Selecting the best strawberry varieties for vertical systems. Choosing the right variety is the most important step. Even with excellent structure and care, the wrong genetics will limit results. Not all strawberries are suited for continuous production, and vertical systems require plants capable of balancing growth, runner formation, and fruiting. The best options are everbearing and day-neutral varieties. Everbearing strawberries produce fruit in multiple cycles throughout the season. Instead of giving one large harvest, they alternate between vegetative growth and flowering. This steady rhythm works well in vertical setups where ongoing production is preferred over a single peak harvest. Day-neutral strawberries are even more adaptable. They are not influenced by day length, meaning they continue flowering and fruiting whenever temperatures remain suitable. As long as environmental conditions are favorable, they keep producing berries while also generating runners. Because of this consistency, day-neutral types are often considered ideal for vertical gardens, containers, balconies, and greenhouse systems. In contrast, June-bearing strawberries behave differently. They typically produce one concentrated harvest per year, usually in late spring or early summer. After fruiting, their energy shifts toward leaf and runner production rather than additional flowers. While this makes them useful for rapid expansion, it limits their effectiveness in vertical systems where continuous fruit production is desired. When choosing plants, look for descriptions such as strong runner production, extended or continuous fruiting, suitable for containers or compact spaces. These qualities indicate balanced growth, enough vigor for upward expansion while maintaining steady fruit output. Selecting the correct variety changes everything. It reduces maintenance, improves productivity, and ensures reliable harvests over time. With the right genetics, vertical strawberries stop being an experiment and become a dependable growing method. Once you begin with the proper plants, the question is no longer whether strawberries can grow vertically. It becomes how much vertical space you want to use. 3. Build a reliable vertical support system. Vertical strawberries depend completely on the structure you provide. Since they are not true climbing plants, they will not cling, twist, or attach themselves naturally. Instead, they need guidance. The structure doesn't have to be complex, but it must be stable, open, and designed with purpose. The most effective systems share one essential feature. They allow runners to move upward easily while keeping the plants healthy and easy to manage. Good options include wooden or metal trellises, wire fencing or livestock panels, ladder-style frames, open fences, strawberry towers or tiered planters, balcony railings or privacy screens, greenhouse supports or interior frames. Even simple recycled materials can work well. Wood scraps, wire mesh, or old shelving units. Appearance is secondary, functionality is what matters. A successful vertical structure must provide 3 key conditions. 1. Air circulation. Strawberries are vulnerable to fungal diseases when air movement is limited. Vertical systems concentrate plants into a smaller area, making ventilation even more important. Open designs allow wind to pass through the foliage, helping leaves and flowers dry quickly after rain or watering. Good airflow significantly reduces disease risk. 2. Easy access. You will need to guide runners, tie stems, prune excess growth, and occasionally root new plantlets into pockets or containers. If the structure is too dense or difficult to reach, maintenance becomes complicated. Without regular attention, runners can tangle and reduce productivity. 3. Light distribution. Every level of the structure should receive sunlight. Avoid solid panels or surfaces that block light from reaching lower sections. Open grids, wire panels, and slatted designs allow sunlight to penetrate multiple layers throughout the day, promoting balanced flowering and fruit production from top to bottom. Height and productivity. Even a moderate structure, around 90 to 150 centimeters tall, can dramatically increase yield per square meter compared to traditional ground planting. Vertical space allows you to grow more plants in the same footprint. As runners climb and root at higher levels, you effectively stack strawberry plants upward, multiplying your growing area without expanding horizontally. Taller systems can increase production further, but stability becomes essential. The frame must support the combined weight of plants, fruit, and moisture without shifting or collapsing. Always secure the structure firmly, either anchored into the ground or attached securely to walls, fences, or railings. A well-designed structure does more than support plants. It influences airflow, sunlight exposure, plant health, and long-term harvest potential. 4. Prepare strong base plants and healthy root zones. The success of vertical strawberries begins at the soil level. No matter how impressive the structure looks, the system will fail if the base plants are weak. Every runner, flower, and berry depends on the strength of the original root system. Whether planted in open ground, raised beds, or containers, soil quality is critical. Strawberries need loose, well-aerated soil, excellent drainage-rich organic content, steady moisture without saturation. Compacted soil restricts root development, limits nutrient absorption, and holds excessive water. In vertical setups, poor drainage becomes even more problematic because gravity moves water downward, potentially oversaturating the lower roots while upper sections dry out. Spacing is equally important. Each plant should have enough room to grow, typically 30 to 45 centimeters apart. Even if it feels like extra space, overcrowding causes problems such as reduced airflow, higher disease risk, smaller fruit, weaker runner development. Since vertical systems rely on healthy runner production, stressed base plants will reduce upward growth, undermining the entire concept. Mulching the root zone. Applying mulch around the base plants is highly beneficial. Use straw, pine needles, shredded leaves, or similar organic materials. Mulch provides several advantages. Stabilizes soil temperature, maintains consistent moisture, prevents soil from splashing onto leaves, suppresses weeds that compete for nutrients. Root health directly influences flowering and fruiting. When roots experience heat stress or irregular moisture, the plant reduces reproductive activity. Consistently cool, evenly moist soil encourages ongoing flowering and runner production. Think of the base plant as the power source of your vertical system. Healthy roots generate upward energy. Weak roots limit everything above them. When the foundation is strong, climbing strawberries don't struggle. They thrive, expanding upward and transforming vertical space into a productive living wall of fruit. 5. Choose the best sunlight location. When strawberries are grown vertically, sunlight becomes the most important factor for success. Because plants are arranged in layers, light does not naturally distribute evenly. If the structure is placed in a poor location, the upper plants may grow well while the lower sections receive too little light, reducing overall performance. For consistent flowering and fruiting, strawberries need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily. In general, the more quality sunlight they receive, the better the harvest, runner strength, and berry sweetness. The ideal setup allows sunlight to reach the system from different angles throughout the day. In most temperate regions, south-facing or southwest-facing positions work best. Morning sunlight is especially beneficial because it dries moisture quickly, lowering disease risk. Afternoon sunlight supports sugar development in ripening fruit. Avoid placing vertical strawberry systems directly against solid walls that block significant daylight, in narrow corridors or corners where light reaches only one side, beneath dense trees or roof overhangs. Whenever possible, leave space around the structure so light can reach not only the front, but also the sides and rear. Even partial exposure from behind improves growth on lower levels. Insufficient light typically causes predictable issues: reduced flowering, weak, thin runners, small, pale, or less flavorful fruit, plants stretching toward light instead of producing berries. Strong light produces the opposite effect. Plants remain compact, runners grow sturdier, flowering increases, and berries develop richer color and higher sugar levels. Light is more than energy. It acts as a signal that regulates growth, flowering timing, and fruit capacity. A properly lit vertical system does not just grow upward, it produces consistently from top to bottom. 6. Let runners grow. Avoid cutting them early. This step requires a change in mindset, especially for gardeners accustomed to traditional strawberry methods. In conventional ground beds, removing runners is often recommended to direct energy toward fruit production. However, in vertical systems, runners serve a completely different purpose. They are not unnecessary growth. They are the foundation of upward expansion. Removing runners too soon can seriously damage a vertical strawberry setup. Runners are how strawberries spread and establish new plants. In climbing systems, they are essential for building layers and increasing production per square meter. Without runners, there is no vertical development and no multiplication of yield. When runners first appear, allow them to grow naturally. Do not prune them. Let them extend until they reach the vertical structure on their own. At this stage, the plant is exploring and allocating energy toward expansion. If runners are cut prematurely, vertical development halts. The plant repeatedly tries to produce new runners. Overall productivity declines. Once runners have grown long enough, they can be managed. But until they connect with the structure, patience is key. The objective is not uncontrolled spreading, rather it is intentional upward growth. 7. Carefully guide runners upward. After runners reach the support system, your role shifts from waiting to gently directing. Strawberry runners are flexible, but they can be damaged if handled roughly. Pulling, twisting, or sharply bending them may injure internal tissues and disrupt nutrient flow. Use soft materials for securing runners, such as garden twine, fabric strips, soft plant ties, vine clips. Avoid thin wire, plastic ties, or anything that tightens over time. As runners expand, rigid fasteners can cut into the stem, restricting movement and possibly killing the shoot. Tie runners loosely. Support should encourage growth, not restrict it. Leave space for natural movement and slight wind sway. Gentle motion actually strengthens plant tissue and improves airflow around leaves and flowers. Guide runners gradually along the structure's natural path. If a runner resists a direction, do not force it. Adjust it slowly over several days. Strawberries respond well when changes are made progressively. Think of this process as training growth, not controlling it. When runners are guided properly, new plant nodes develop evenly. Root establishment improves, stress levels remain low. Vertical growth becomes organized and reliable. Gentle direction transforms runners into the structural foundation of a productive vertical strawberry system, creating a living wall that expands naturally, efficiently, and sustainably. 8. Decide how to use each runner. Every runner gives you a strategic decision. In a vertical system, you are in control of how expansion happens. Option 1. Root runners into attached containers. You can attach small pots, fabric grow pockets, mesh baskets, or planter boxes directly onto the structure at different heights. Fill each with quality soil. When a runner reaches one of these pockets, gently position the node so it rests on the soil surface and secure it lightly. Within a few days, roots will begin forming. Once rooted, that plant becomes an integrated and permanent part of your vertical system, increasing its productivity layer by layer. This method builds structure and gradually transforms the wall into a multi-level strawberry network. Option 2. Allow runners to hang naturally. In tower systems or wall installations, runners can simply hang downward. Even in this position, they can flower and produce fruit. Hanging strawberries often stay cleaner, dry faster after rainfall, and experience reduced pest pressure. Good airflow around suspended runners also helps prevent disease. Many experienced growers combine both approaches, rooting selected runners to expand the structure while allowing others to hang freely for quick fruit production. This flexible strategy maximizes both expansion and harvest efficiency. 9. Watering strategy for vertical systems. Water management changes significantly when strawberries are grown vertically. Gravity constantly pulls moisture downward, creating uneven conditions throughout the structure. Typically, the lower root zone stays wetter, while upper pockets and containers dry out much faster. This imbalance is one of the most common causes of failure in vertical strawberry setups. The objective is uniform moisture at every root level, not just at the base. Water slowly and thoroughly so the moisture can absorb into the soil instead of flowing straight through. Pay attention to the main root area at the bottom. Any runner nodes rooted in elevated pockets or containers. Upper planting pockets often require more frequent checking than the base. Test them regularly by touch. If the soil feels dry about 2 to 3 centimeters below the surface, it's time to water. Avoid watering from above. Wet foliage and flowers create ideal conditions for fungal problems such as gray mold and powdery mildew. In vertical systems, airflow can be uneven, causing moisture to linger longer on leaves and increasing disease risk. Drip irrigation works especially well because it delivers water directly to the soil at a controlled rate. If watering manually, apply water slowly at soil level rather than spraying overhead. Consistency is far more important than large quantities. Strawberries do not respond well to cycles of drying out, followed by heavy soaking. Steady moisture supports continuous flowering, healthy runner formation, and uniform fruit development. 10. Use mulch to protect the base. In vertical strawberry systems, mulch is essential. It acts as a protective shield for the root zone. Because plants are elevated, the base area experiences greater temperature fluctuations. Soil can heat up quickly during the day and cool rapidly at night. These changes place stress on shallow strawberry roots, and stressed roots lead to reduced flowering and smaller berries. Apply a thick layer of organic mulch around the base plants. Suitable materials include straw, pine needles, shredded leaves, or dried grass clippings. Mulch provides several important benefits: maintains stable soil temperature, reduces water evaporation, protects shallow roots, suppresses weed growth, improves soil structure over time. Most importantly, mulch keeps roots in a calm and stable environment. When roots remain cool and evenly moist, the plant continues flowering and fruiting steadily. When roots become stressed by heat or dryness, strawberries shift energy toward survival rather than production. In this way, mulch serves as the foundation of the entire vertical system, stabilizing, feeding, and protecting everything growing above it. When proper watering and mulching practices are combined, climbing strawberries transition from simply surviving to truly thriving, producing cleaner fruit, stronger runners, and extended harvests with minimal effort.